welcome to the call. Glad to have you.
Are we live? We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast.
We're streaming this live on Facebook, Mr. Wilkins. So if you guys have anybody,
welcome.
In the next couple of minutes, please just send my text. We stream this live on Facebook.
Do me a favor, as you're coming on. Welcome. Glad to have you on. Be sure that you are sharing and tagging this to everybody. Everybody needs to share. I need you to tag it. I need you to get this out. We're going to be going for about 45 to 60 minutes tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever it is that you're watching. And it's going to be phenomenal today. The information that I'm going to be covering is so revelatory to every single person that is building a business, every single person that's in our profession, in our company, obviously in this organization. So we're excited. We're excited about this. Okay, so we've got the conference call lines lit up right now like a Christmas tree. We've got we're streaming live all throughout social media, and we're excited. I need you to do me a favor. I need everybody do me a favor quickly. Make sure as you're coming on, welcome. Number one, number two. I need you to share it. I need you to tag people in the comments there. Tag every single person that's a part of your team, that's a part of your organization, every single leader that you know, every single person that you know of that's serious about building an organization, serious about getting to that type of income, getting their rings, getting to the next level in their career. I need you to share this. I need you to tag them in this. This is, in my opinion, one of the most important topics. And not only one of the most important topics, is one of the topics that many leaders shy away from discussing publicly. And I want to be just a vessel tonight and be in a position to give you transferable truths that you can apply to your business, not just from a position of thinking or even believing. These are experiences that I've had and many of our partners have had in this business. And so I want to make you aware of them. And more importantly, not only make you aware of them, I want you to be completely clear on what's happening every single moment of the day when it comes to your mindset and the business. So do me a favor, we're about to go live and get the call kicked off in the next 30 seconds here. Let's go ahead and share this broadcast. Share it. I'm going to drink some smart water because it's going to be a smart call. Drink some smart water here, and it's going to be phenomenal, okay? So here we go. We are ready. Go ahead and mute our lines here.
Welcome to our Sunday night training call with Mr. Jarrod Wilkins. Please state your name, what city you come from.
Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Kyra Bruxton from Houston, Texas.
All right.
From Texas, glad to have you on the call tonight.
Thank you. Jarrod Conference muted.
Well, hey guys, hey Mr. Wilkins, I want to thank you for having me as a guest tonight. Man, we having so much excitement down in LA. Just teaming up with hey you guys, thank you, welcome you to our Sunday night trip.
Entry notice off.
Mr. Wilkins, I want to tell you thank you for supporting us down in LA. We're having so much excitement down here. So many people is now, just starting to realize that there's nobody in LA that's doing TLC, and this excitement of people actually using the products, and we were able to put on 4 to 5 tea parties just over the weekend, and because of your mentorship, people signed up in the business just over the weekend, and it's just because of people seeing the company where it's at, and so I just want to thank you for your support, and I can't wait for you to come down and meet the team and just kind of help us get it off the ground and get it going. And words cannot express of what you've done in the past 12 years in the home-based business profession. Featuring success, home magazine, networking magazine, author, and transformational teacher, and voted the top 50 professional entrepreneurs.
Make sure you're sharing, guys. Make sure you're sharing. It's going to be powerful tonight, I'm telling you. It's going to be so revelatory tonight. It is going to be powerful tonight. I'm excited about your future.
He was also among the top 13 income earners in previous companies that had 1.5
Very blessed.
Wilkins is currently a global director, which means his organization generates at a minimum of $100,000 in revenue a week. His most significant accomplishments are being the husband of Portia Wilkins and the father of Jarrod Wilkins. Won't you guys go ahead and grab a pen and piece of paper and let us bring on our coach and mentor, Mr. Jarrod Wilkins. Mr. Wilkins, are you here?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Wilkins. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you so much for hosting the call on the conference line here. Obviously, we're streaming on social media, Facebook, on all of the pages that we do have. And I know we've got thousands of people that are tuned in wanting to hear this message. I want to say congratulations to you and your phenomenal team of leaders that are right there in California. And I mean, just record numbers of enrollments this week for you guys. And, you know, there's just such a level of excitement right there in California because of, you know, your decision after the Atlanta event to really, take on the responsibility and the role of leading. And that, you know, what an awesome responsibility it is to take it on, to say, you know what, I'm going to do it first. I'm going to lead the charge. I'm going to be an eloquent example of leadership. So congratulations to you. Very excited to be partnered with you guys. I'm excited to be coming out to California within the next 30 days once we hit that target that I gave you. And I know you guys are going to blow right on past it. So I'm excited to book my flight and my hotel and come and invest some time with you and those phenomenal leaders. My wife will be accompanying me. It's one of her favorite cities in all of the United States. So I know she can't wait to get to California as well. But you know what? Let's dive into the call. I want to welcome everybody to tonight's call. I know we've got partners all around the world that are tuning in. Thank you guys so much for sharing this, for tagging your business partners, your friends, your family members. Some of you have even tagged your enemies, and that's okay. That's all right. You can tag everybody. Make sure you're sharing this. I want this message to permeate not only through our entire organization, not just through our company, but through the entire profession, because I think it's a message that is worth sharing from a perspective of understanding and knowing. And so I'm truly excited to talk about this. We've been in a series for now the last 4 weeks entitled Culture. You know, the reason why I decided to do this series, and more importantly, the reason why we decided to do a live stream when it came to this particular topic is, number one, I believe culture is the most important factor in building any organization. As a matter of fact, culture, and I want you to write this down, please. Type it in the comments here so you can always go back and reflect. Culture is either drifted into or it's intentionally set. Let me say that again. Culture is either drifted into or it's intentionally set. Well, Jarrod, what do you actually mean by that? Well, that word culture, and you'll hear, you know, people refer to organizations in the network marketing profession as, you know, you're involved in one of those cults. Well, cult is the short version or the root word to culture. It really means to grow. All right. Culture means to grow. You know, for example, and I share this with the leaders all the time. I know I shared it in Atlanta at our private session that we had. I talked about when you go into a hospital and, you know, there's something wrong with you and the physicians are attempting to discover what that something is. They oftentimes take a sample, a blood sample from your body or a skin sample. They take a sample from your body and they put that sample under a microscope. The reason why they do that is because they want to determine what is growing. What is it that you are afflicted with? What is it that's happening within your body? So they take a little small sample of it and they put that sample under a microscope, which sheds light. It goes into a microscopic standpoint to show us what is going on beneath the surface. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it is in organizations. Whenever you look at an organization that's growing, and I love what John C. Maxwell says, he says, everything rises and falls on leadership. And as a leader, you know, that word leader, I think it's so overly used and overly explained. But to me, you know, one of the most important factors of leadership is example. Being an example. It is so important to be an example for your team. Notice I didn't say your group. There's a dichotomy between the team and the group. And we're going to deal with some of that tonight. We're going to deal with this whole process, this whole idea of culture, and how quitting is a process. That's our series tonight. Quitting is a process. Oftentimes people think that individuals that are part of their team or part of their organization or part of their group, they really are under the idea, like I was for many years, that people quit suddenly or people succeed suddenly. And that couldn't be any more further from the truth, because that's not what happens. People do not quit, nor do they win suddenly. They do it subtly. It is subtly that they do it. You will quit subtly. You will win subtly. To have that one break year of success, it typically took about 10 years for some people. Sometimes it took 5 years. Now, I want you to understand that this business is not about duration. It's about donation. In other words, you hear people say, oh, I've been involved in the network marketing profession for 15, 20, 30 years. That's great. What have been your results? Because it has no bearing on what your results are in terms of your duration in the profession or your duration in the company. There's some people that have more of a donation than your duration because they were actively building, they were actively involved. And so we know these things. We all know that there are people in every company, especially ours, that have achieved at a high level. They are ring earners. They are, we've got $50,000 ring earners. We've got, $100,000 ring earners. We've got $250,000 ring earners. My wife and I are blessed and fortunate to have qualified for the $500,000 ring. We just celebrated 18 months of being partnered with this wonderful company of Total Life Changes on July 28th. Of this year. We launched our business January 28th, 2016. So we just crossed 18 months and we were able to qualify for the $500,000 ring within a very short period of time. Now, here's what's important. That's not important because people expect us to do it. We've been involved in the profession since 2004. We're not new to this. This is not some hustle for me. This is not some show game. This is not something I'm just doing to look good or to sound intelligent or to have an audience to speak eloquently to. No. We've earned millions of dollars. We've generated tens of millions of dollars for multiple companies. We've built organizations and been a part of leading with people in multiple countries around the world. And so I'm not speaking to you from a perspective of someone who's new to this. Baby, I'm true to this. I had a conversation yesterday with a young lady that, had a very important question. She said, why network marketing? Why did you choose the network marketing platform or the network marketing profession to exercise your talents and your gifts? Why didn't you just go and be a motivational speaker or teacher or minister or any of those things? And here's what I want you guys to understand. I want you to write this down and never forget it. When people can categorize you, they can cancel you. Let me say that again. When people can categorize you, they can cancel you. And so I've never wanted to put myself into a specific category. So I don't categorize myself as a speaker. I don't categorize myself as a motivational speaker. I don't categorize myself as a preacher or a minister. I happen to function in those various areas, but my true gift is the ability to inspire. And I'm sharing this for a reason because, remember, I'm talking to you specifically tonight about culture. Remember, culture means to grow. My question for you right now is this. If we were to take a sample of your business, remember, your business, we call it an organization because it works like an organism. Many of us, if you're paying attention to your body, you can tell when you're about to have a cold or the flu is coming on or you're sneezing or you have a slight fever. If you're paying attention to your body, if you're in tune with your body, if you're in tune with those organs that make up your body, well, the same can be said about the body of people you're building. your organization. If you're in tune, you can pay attention to the fevers, the headaches. If you're in tune with your organization, you can pay attention to those that are bringing in a cold virus. If you're paying attention to your organization and you feel what's going on, you can pay attention to those cells that are cancerous. Quitting is a process. And when you have a culture that is not based upon show, when you've got a culture that's a part of your organization that you've intentionally set, that's the foundation is based on leadership, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you have something that can be strong and it can be long term. I was sharing with a young lady. This is another lady that this is a brand new leg of business. I think this is maybe our 65th person that we've personally enrolled into the company. Like I said, we've been involved in this company for 18 months. Our first week, and I'm sharing this with you for a reason. Our very first week of launching this business, we personally recruited 21 people into the business. Okay, we had an initial list of 225 people on our initial list after we made the decision that this is what we were going to do. We made that list of 225. My wife made a list of over 100 names herself. And I started making phone calls. Picking up the phone, calling people. I wasn't sending emails or text messages. I wanted people to feel the emotion that I had. I wanted people to hear the passion that I had, not about what I had done in the past. I want you to write this down, please. Your testimony. Oh, this is good. Hear me. Your testimony tells us where you've been. Your confession tells us where you are. But your vision tells us where you're going. Let me say that again. Your testimony tells us where you've been. Your confession tells us where you are. But your vision tells us where you're going. I was calling people and I was not sharing with them my testimony. I wasn't even giving them a confession. I was selling those people on my list my vision. Where I was going. Why, Jarrod? Because yesterday died last night. It doesn't matter if you're a stock boy or a stockbroker. It doesn't matter if you got a PhD or a GED. It doesn't matter if you graduated from Columbia or Yale or you just got out of jail. That has no bearings whatsoever on what you can accomplish, what you can build, what you can become in this particular profession. I took that list of 225 names. And ladies and gentlemen, I narrowed that list down to what I call my Power 30. And I share this all the time because faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. I share the same story all of the time because, number one, this is a storyteller's business. Those of us that are able to master the mundane, those of us that are able to share and articulate and communicate a message, a story that will resonate in the hearts of people are the people that will have the biggest impact. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to write this down. It is your impact that will determine your income. Are you listening to me? Your impact will determine your income. I took that power list of 30 of my top influential people, 30 people that I knew that were, some of them were ministers, some of them were pastors, some of them were in pharmaceutical sales, some of them had a background in real estate. Some of these individuals had a background in insurance. I was categorizing my list based upon, number one, their sphere of influence. Number two, their credibility. Number three, I was looking for people that were coachable, teachable, and trainable. They had a spirit of humility. Those were the people I categorized on my Power 30. I recommend you do the same. Remember, the topic tonight, today, wherever you're watching, is quitting is a process. We put that list together. I made those calls to those 30 and I told them about my vision. I told them why I was doing network marketing. I shared with them why I was doing this again, even after the pitfalls, even after, we had a business completely go backwards on us. We had built that income to a point, and I'm making no income claims. We, in that company, would earn multiple millions of dollars. We were $250,000 ring earners, which signified earnings of $250,000 all the way up to $1 shy of $500,000 in 12 months. That's what we had built in that particular company. We were there for 6 years, had phenomenal experience. I thought I would have been there another 60 years. I thought I was going to retire into the business, not retire out of the business. But things changed. And the same way I'm explaining this story, this is exactly what I said to people. Remember, I told you, quitting is a process. I made that list. I told them about the vision. I told him I was going to be building it for my last name. I told him that, the scripture says, because my wife and I, we went on a fast for 2 weeks. No food from 6 to 6. We were praying corporately. We were listening to motivational messages, spiritual messages all throughout the day. There was no television on. There was no radio on in terms of just regular ancillary channels or anything like that. We took it very seriously in terms of our decision. I want you to write this down. This is good. I heard you. You make a decision to start, but you make a commitment to finish. That's good. You make a decision to start, but you make a commitment to finish. Remember, quitting is a process. But we made a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. You are going to have to decide. That word decide, it rhymes with suicide and homicide. It simply means somebody dies. Something dies. I love what Les Brown said. He said, you must die to who you are so you can give birth to who you will become. And ladies and gentlemen, these are not just vain words. This is just not eloquent speech. I'm telling you, not what I read, not just what I heard. I'm telling you what we are living. We died to who we were. What do I mean by we died to who we were? You know those rings that they gave us in the former company? The trophies, the awards, the jackets, the swords, the magazines that we were featured in, the DVDs that were circulated all around the world with our story and our testimony. Guess what I did? I died to it. Jarrod, how did you die? I took all of it. I took the trophies. I took the rings. I took the awards. I took the magazines and I put it in a box and buried it. That was my testimony. That was my past. I died to Jarrod Wilkins. I died to Mr. Wilkins, the $250,000 ring earner. I died to Mr. Wilkins, the this, the that, the all. I put him in a box and I said, that's my past. I'm moving forward. I decided. My question for you is this. Are you willing to die to who you are so you can give birth to who you will become? We put that away. And through that process, see, I'm walking you through this because I don't want any guesswork in this tonight. I don't want you to look at, stories that you hear all around our profession and our company, and I call them accidental heroes. I don't want you to think that the only way you can succeed in this business is to become an accidental hero. What do I mean? Timing and positioning. Your upline built your business for you, or, they sponsor placed down below you. Now you've got an income. You're a top income earner, but you're not a top leader. I clap for myself. What does that mean, Jarrod? I got a top income, or I've got a big income, but I got a small impact. I don't want you to think for one moment that is the only way to succeed in our wonderful profession, because we would be doing a disservice to people that have really built it for their last name. We would be doing a big disservice to people that have touched lives and impact people. We would be doing a big injustice and disservice to people that have cried and bled and sweated and given their very essence to people, where they've personalized people's pain. They've given their life. They've given their time. They've given their money. They've sacrificed who they are and what they were doing for people. I would do a disservice to you if I didn't give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth tonight. But we died to who we were. So put all that away. I had to re-earn that. I learned that principle. I needed to re-earn it. Remember, I'm telling you, quitting is a process. I'm going to give you the different areas to look at internally. For if you are this is good. if you are in the process of quitting or if you're in the process of winning. Because they're both a process. Some of you, you're in the process and you don't even know it. You're in the process of quitting. Others of you, you don't even know it either, but you are so in alignment and in the process of winning. But it takes somebody to speak truth to power. It takes somebody to go against the grain. It takes somebody to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Which side you're on. We put that list together and I started making phone calls because I had died to who I was, and the birthing process had to begin. That birthing process, what is the birthing process? You put a list together. Oh, well, Jarrod, I know how many people do it. You just take organizations that you've built before and you move them into another company. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not our story. We didn't move an organization. I want you to hear me very clearly, and I don't want you to miss my words. We did not have one single person that was at the beginning level of leadership or above from our previous organization that we had served with for 6 years. Not one of them got a phone call. Not one of them got a text message. Not one of them got an email about the vision of where we were going. And I did it on purpose because here is my philosophy. I don't need to tear down one organization to build up another one. Because the skills are transferable. It takes skills to pay the bills. Some of us want to become millionaires, but you have not become a skillionaire. See, here's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen. When you develop the skill, it's transferable. It's like credits at school. Let's say you started in a junior college or a community college and you took your basics. That's what typically happens. You know, you take your basic courses and you're able to take those basic courses, pass those, and then you can transfer to another school and complete your bachelor's. And then maybe if you want to go further, you transfer from your bachelor's and you go get your master's. Then if you want to go a little higher, you transfer again from the master's program and you go get yourself a doctorate. Then if you want to go to the next level, you can go get a double doctorate or a PhD. See, you can transfer, and that's how it is in our profession. You can transfer the skills. So we started making those phone calls, and ladies and gentlemen, I was sharing with a young lady on yesterday, while we chose the network marketing profession, I knew for a fact that we could have the most indelible impact and imprint in this profession than anything else that I was exposed to. We can touch more lives with this platform, more lives in this profession than many others with our gifts, with our talent, our skills. We could serve more people with this particular platform or through this particular platform. I just needed the right vehicle. I was clear on my vision. My question for you is this. Why are you doing this? When a man or woman loses their why, they will soon lose their way. When a man or woman loses their why, you will soon lose your way. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you know you are in the process of quitting, when you lose your why. So many of us, I want you to hear me, you have lost your why and you're blaming your sponsor. You lost your why and you're blaming your upline. You've lost your why, you're blaming the comp plan. You lost your why and you're blaming your sideline. You're blaming the product. You start blaming. See, the seed of dishonor will always produce a season of destruction. The seed of dishonor. Now listen to me. There's a difference. Oh, come on in close, please. Clutch your pearls, scoot up to the TV. There's a difference between a disagreement and dishonor. We can have disagreements all the time. Disagreement simply means my philosophy about something is different from your philosophy. It doesn't mean that you're wrong and I'm right. It just means that we've got different philosophies, and that may be a disagreement. We can be respectable in our disagreement. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't believe leaders that are working together should agree on all things, and that's okay. But there's a difference between being disagreeable and being dishonorable. See, disagreements happen one-on-one. Disagreements happen between us, between each other. Dishonor typically happens when you sow seeds about a person to other people. Baby, you talk, this is when you know you're in the process of quitting. You start talking about me versus talking to me. I'll clap on it anyway. I know you don't want the truth tonight, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. You start talking about people versus talking to people. Baby, pick up the phone. Have a disagreement. Have the gumption to have the conversation with the person. You know, we're living in this postmodern day generation where it's easier to post about people than it is to phone a person. You would rather post about the problem, post about the person, post about the individuals, post it on social media and post it on Facebook and post it on Instagram and shoot a video about it on YouTube, but opposed to doing the mature thing and having a disagreement with the person, you start being dishonorable. I can tell you, you're in the process of quitting. Listen to me. God will never pour his blessings on anyone or anything that is out of order. Are you listening to me? I said God. I didn't say the universe. I said God. Now you can insert universe and spirit and whatever else words that you want to use to be politically correct. And I'm not here to demonize your spirituality. I'm not here to convince you about mine and my creator. I'm just telling you from my particular point of view and my experience and my truth, God will never pour his blessings on anything or anyone that is out of order. Quitting is a process. So out of the 30, ladies and gentlemen, 21 of them said yes. They said, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I'm rolling with you. Yes, I'm running with you for 18 months, Jarrod. I'm clear on the vision. This comp plan, man, this is phenomenal. These products, oh my gosh, the products are phenomenal. I've gotten a great experience from them. And people said yes, and they were fired up. They were ready to go. They were fired up. They were ready to go. And man, we locked arms and I personalized their pain. I heard their stories. I heard their cry. I sat down with men eyeball to eyeball. They cried and I sat down with women eyeball to eyeball. I talked to people over the phone and we heard what they wanted to accomplish. I found out their reason why and I committed to them. I said, I'm going to run with you for 18 months. I committed to him and said, I'll be there to support you. I committed to him. I said, it doesn't matter the conference call. It doesn't matter if it's a three-way call. You need me to fly into your market. You need me to help you invest into products or whatever it takes. You can count on me. Out of that 30, 21 said yes. Wow. We earned that first week, we earned our biggest amount of income in the history of our 12-year career in a 7-day period that first week. I had never earned that type of money in my life in this profession in a week that we earned our first week in this company. And I think, I know it's because the comp plan is absolutely strong, obviously. I know the products were working and are working at an all-time high, but I'm very much aware and convinced that the vision was very clear and we planned it. The culture that we set, I mean, we had it planned. I knew that my first 7 and 30 days, I knew the story that I wanted to create. I knew the income. I had it drawn out. I had the plan put in place and I went and executed my part. See, your role, my role is to simply sow the seeds. God adds the increase. Your role, my role is to sow the seed. God adds the increase. Now, here's what happens when you know a person is in the process of quitting. I hope you can hold this. You begin to judge another man's harvest, another woman's harvest, when you never saw their seed. Yeah, that's how you know you're in the process of quitting. When you start judging another man's harvest when you never saw his seed. You start judging another woman's harvest when you never saw her seed. And you begin to compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 7. You begin to compare the front cover of your classic, beautiful, polished book to their rathered and torn book. You begin to say, I'm the this, I'm the that, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished that. Why is it that that person is winning and I'm not? And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what you are doing is selling yourself short, because you begin to compare your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. Yeah. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. You're comparing your bleeding to their leading. You're comparing your shortfalls and your shortcomings to their supposed winnings. And you never know. You never saw their seed. You never saw the tears they cried. You never saw the phone calls they made. You never knew how many companies went out of business on them. You never knew how they were on the threshold of depression and bankruptcy. You never knew how many people left and quit and went to other companies, ridiculed and talked about them. You never saw the mentors that turned into manipulators. You never saw the mentors that they made masters. You never saw the income that they had to split 50% when they were responsible for 98% of the volume. You never saw those seeds. And you you begin comparing. Why is she winning? Why is she a $500,000 ringer? Why is she a $100,000 ringer? Why is he making a $500,000? Why is he $1 million ringer? And I've got more education. Oh, I've been in the company longer. I've been in the profession longer. This, that. You start comparing. And you sell yourself short. That's how you know you're in the process of quitting. When you begin to complain. That's number one. You're complaining. How do I know you're in the process of quitting? You stop creating and you start complaining. Write it down, please. How do I know you're in the process of quitting? You stop creating and you start complaining. Creating, Jarrod, what do you mean? See, when you're writing that list and you're making phone calls, you're creating. See, the world was created with words. My words create my future. My words, see, words are spirit. Words are seed. As I speak my words, so shall it be done unto me. Not as my upline speaks his word. Not as the company owner speaks his word. Not as people in my success team speak their word. As I speak my word, so shall it be done unto me. But you stop creating. See, we didn't stop creating. We made those phone calls. Now, here's the deal. 18 months later, those same 21 people. Now, we sponsored 65 in 18 months. So we didn't stop at the 21. Some of you stop creating. You start complaining because you may have sponsored 12 or you may have sponsored 15. And you look at somebody else that's only sponsored 5 or 6. And those 6 have been more productive than your 16. Or their 6 has created more volume than your 60 or whatever it's been. And then you start to complain. Out of those 21 that we personally sponsored, out of those 21 that said, I'm with you, out of the 21 that says, I'm running with you, I'm bought into the vision, out of the 21 that said they're committed, do you know 18 months later that only 1 out of the 21 is still with us? Only 1 out of the 21 is still with us. Why do I say that? Because quitting is a process. There can be no promise without the process. And in this profession of network marketing, we put more emphasis on celebrating and highlighting the promises that we forget to educate people on the process. Quitting is a process. You start complaining about what you didn't get and what you don't have. You start criticizing, complaining, and condemning. Those are the 3 C's that show you a person that's in the process of quitting. They criticize, they complain, and they condemn. They criticize. Oh, my upline didn't do this. My upline, see, my upline, you didn't build a leg of business for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm stepping on toes. I'm even stepping on my own. And it's okay. But I want to give you this process so that you don't find yourself going down this rabbit trail and find yourself as a casualty, buried in the MLM cemetery, just like the others. I love what Dr. Miles Monroe said. He says, the wealthiest place in the world is not the Far East where there's oil in the ground. He said, it's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said, the wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery where countless dreams have been buried. Men, great men, that we will never see their masterpieces. Women that had technology and businesses and books, music that will never be sung, poems that will never be heard, leadership that will never be experienced because they robbed the world of their gift and took it to the grave. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, most people go to their graves with their music still inside of them. And I venture to say that you're born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. And I don't want you to choose to continue to criticize, complain, and condemn. We blame the upline. We blame the company. Oh, my products didn't come right on time. My product was a day late, an hour short. My products weren't here on time because my products weren't here, or the back office didn't work. I couldn't log in, or whatever the excuse is. Remember, an excuse is nothing but a well-planned lie. We begin to criticize, and every time you criticize, here's what you do. You take a step backwards. Every time you criticize your upline, you take a step backwards. Every time you criticize your sponsor, you're taking a step backwards. Every time you criticize the company, you're taking a step backwards. Every time you point the finger and point the blame and criticize and complain and condemn, you are in the process of quitting. You blame the upline. Oh, you didn't build me a power leg. For those of us that are building binaries, those of you that are building unilevels, you make the same complaints too. In the binary, oh, you didn't build me a power leg. You put me on the inside of an inside down below under the sink leg. And now I've got to do what you said I've got to do, which is I've got to build 2 teams. Oh my gosh. And I can't build 2 teams, but I'm going to tell everybody else that I have in my organization to build 2 teams, but I don't want to build 2 teams. So you need to build me 1 team. And so the reason why I'm not succeeding, or the reason why I'm not successful, is because my upline didn't build me a team. I.e., it just didn't work. I.e., I didn't like, they lied to me. I.e., see, we don't say what it really is. People they never come out and tell you what the real truth is. They camouflage it and hide it with a bunch of displays of lies. Baby, my big mama used to say, the truth is naked. It don't need no clothing on it. It's a lie that has to be dressed up. So when they start giving you this long dissertation, this long explanation for why they left the company or why the company is bad, just know, baby, it may be a lie that you're listening to because it's all dressed up. And they say, oh, it's not working. People are leaving and people are quitting and this and that and the other. And the truth is, they had a conversation with somebody else. They looked at somebody else's business. They heard somebody else's story, and they heard that person's sponsor or that person's upline built a team for them, or they fell into a place where they had some spillover or whatever it was, and now that person is making $1,000 a week because they found somebody for their other team or whatever it is, and now they're making $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 a month or 20 or 100, whatever it is. And now we take that experience or that example, we say, oh, because my sponsor, because my upline didn't do that for me and they did it for them, that's the problem. That's why I got to quit. Or they come up with another one that I've been hearing, and I've heard it my whole career, especially when building binaries. Oh, other people are winning because they're building both sides for them. They're sponsor placing. You know, they're putting people on their lesser side and their stronger side. And now that's why people are winning on their team. And it's why it's great. And it's my sponsor didn't do it for me. My upline didn't do it for me. That's why I've got to criticize and complain and condemn. That's why I'm in the process of quitting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I said the same immature things myself. I had the same immature thinking myself. And I had to die to who I was so I can give birth to who I'm becoming. When we got started, we didn't bring a team over. Had my phenomenal sponsor, the late Erwin Porters and Mrs. Twyla Porters, I had a conversation with them. I told them what we were going to do. I told them what my vision was. I told them what my wife and I had decided in our whole process. I told them what our game plan was, our first 7 days, our first 30 days, our first 90 days. We counseled and we told them what we're going to do, and we asked for advice and suggestions on what they saw based on their 2 years of experience in this particular company. And I told them, here's what I need support on. Here's what I need, because nothing great happens with one person. It starts with one, because one man or woman with courage is the majority, but it does not finish with one. 2 is the first number that can be multiplied. You can't multiply with 1. You've got to at least find another one to multiply your results. If you haven't identified at least another one, you can't multiply, baby. Some of you are simply adding, and the majority of you are subtracting. But we counseled. Told them, here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. And we got to work. We didn't say, hey, build our pay side. We didn't say, hey, this needs. No. Because we're leaders, not just in our words, but in our deeds. That's why we went regional. Our first 7 days in the business, we were regionals. Our first week in the business, we did over $32,000 in revenue. 16,000 CV is what we generated our first 7 days in the business. We sponsored 21 people. That 21 grew to over 100 people. We had people become directors and executive directors and regional directors in a very short period of time in this company. We went national our first 48 days. I don't know of any other person that I'm aware of in Total Life Changes that went national in their first 48 days without sponsor placement. I'm not aware of it. I don't know if we hold the record. I've been told we have the record for becoming the fastest nationals in the company, but we did it in 48 days. Notice I didn't say I did it in 48 days. Remember, write this down, please. Me is about ambition. Ambition is about me. Vision is about we. We became nationals as an organization in our first 48 days. It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. Matter of fact, most people, this is how you know you're in the process of quitting. Oh God, I hope you can catch this. You're listening to demons. All right, let me pause for a moment, because I know that I just hurt your feelings. But that's my friend. That ain't your friend. That's a demon. You listening to demons. Jarrod, why are you calling them a demon? Because they are speaking fear into your spirit. They are speaking doubt into your spirit. You are listening to demons. If they're not talking about the vision, they're not talking about where we're going, they're not talking about adding value, they're not talking about, man, you can do it, you can achieve it, and some of you are sleeping with demons. Teach, Jarrod, I already am. Some of you listening to demons, you're talking to demons, you're sleeping with demons, and you're wondering why you're dying. Because you're sleeping and talking with the enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not communicate with people that were not in alignment with the vision of where we were going. I didn't give them limited access. Some people you're going to have to give limited access. We gave them no access. We sent them the voicemail. We didn't respond to the text. Nope, can't come out to eat. Nope, not coming to dinner. Nope, not coming to the football party. Nope, not coming to the basketball game. I don't give a, I don't care if you got courtside seats. I ain't coming. Because you's a demon. You're demonic. Now listen to me. Jesus called Peter a demon. He He told him, get thee behind me. And that was who he turned his ministry over. So I'm not saying the person, but they got a demonic spirit on them. And you got to be careful. See, this is how you know you're in the process of quitting. Who are you listening to? What do they have you saying? What do they have you believing? And what do they have you doing? If you're talking to people and every time you talk to them, you feel just depressed, you feel demoralized, you feel devastated, you're talking to the spirit of a demon. And you're in the process of quitting and you don't even know it. I didn't talk to him. I wanted to talk to people. That's why we call them an upline, because the upline, here it is, your upline can be your lifeline. Your upline could potentially be your lifeline. I was reaching up. I wasn't reaching sideways. I wasn't reaching downways. I wasn't trying to get it. No, I was talking to people that were going in the direction of where we were building. So we had almost 100 people join that first week. That first 7 days, almost 100 people hit the system. Why? Because we weren't dealing with demons. And some of you have no idea. Words are seed. Are you listening to me? Words are seed. When you're hearing words, those words, and you think consciously that you're able to be mature enough and hang out with demons and hang around them and be close to them and be buddy with them, and they're steady putting seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, seeds of discomfort into your spirit, and you don't even know. You think you can handle it, but your subconscious is more important than your conscious. Your subconscious is more aware than your conscious. And so they start planting those seeds, and guess what happens? Over a period of time, it begins to germinate. Over a period of time, it begins to grow. Over a period of time, the culture, if we took a sample of your body, we begin to see demonic doubt in your organization. So sure, you're showing the plan, but you ain't talking about the vision. Sure, you're prospecting, but you ain't meeting people. Oh, Jarrod, you said a mouthful. I said you are prospecting, but you ain't meeting people, because we're all energy. So you're just going through the motion. It's like you go to the gym and you're going through the motion, but you're not breaking a sweat. It's like you're working out, but you're not really in there. You're not focused. You're not feeling it. You're not in the groove. You're not even believing it. I want you to hear me clearly. We can feel when you are out of faith. A good leader can feel when you are out of faith. Your conversation, your language is all about what's going wrong, what's not going right, who wronged you, who ain't for you, what's not happening, because you have been communicating and dancing with demons. And I tell people all the time, some people call themselves your friend. Them ain't your friends. Some of you just have the same demons in common. Yep. Take that with you. I know you're going to hang up. I know you're logging off. That's okay. Take that one with you. That's not your friend. You just got the same demons in common. And here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. This business, building people, the reason why it's so difficult for most of us is because we are not willing to deal with the man or the woman in the mirror. And it's easier to point blame, cast fears, cast doubt, criticize, complain, condemn, say what's not happening, what ain't taking place. Scripture says, call those things that be not as though they were. Is that what you're doing? Or are you jumping on the bandwagon of those non-believers and buying into it? See, they told us, listen to me, they told us when we got started, they said, oh, you've missed the timing. The timing is not right for you. Oh, you're not going to succeed, Jarrod. The company's gone through its timing. The momentum phase is already passed, Jarrod. It's not going to work. You won't get to 10 grand a month. You won't get to 20 grand a month over there. You got to get in at the ground floor. You got to be down in at the basement. You've missed it. All the big money's been earned, Jarrod. You need to take your talent somewhere else. It doesn't even seem multicultural over there. I hung up. And I didn't call them back until we got to a certain level. So we started working. We started working. We qualified for our $100,000 ring in our first 90 days. 90 days, we had already qualified for our $100,000 ring. Within our first 9 months, we qualified for our $250,000 ring right away. Why? Because we were not dancing with demons. I wasn't talking to people that were sowing seeds of doubt. I wasn't engaged with people that were not showing the plan. I was not engaged with people that were not traveling and working and building and touching and reaching like I was. Why? Because light and darkness cannot coexist at the same time. Well, Jarrod, I know how you guys are $500,000 ring earners. You got all of South Africa in your organization. That's how you guys are $500,000 ring earners. You wouldn't be making money if you didn't have South Africa. Hogwash. We qualified for our $250,000 ring before one person from South Africa joined. Now take that in your pipe and smoke it. The reason why we have South Africa, that's a part of our organization, is because of every single thing I've just described to you. Because of the results. See, the results we created had an environment and a culture of winning even while other people chose to lose. And so now we look at it. We just had a couple join us. They got started with us in November of 2016. They joined us. They saw what we were doing. They saw the results that we had. They saw the leadership that we've displayed over the years. They said, oh, we want to run with you. So come on, let's run. I'm running. It doesn't matter what we're earning. We're still running. I've got a vision. I've got a goal. I'm committed to it. I made a covenant with God. I would thank him publicly every chance I got, even though it's taboo in business to talk about business and God. I said, God, if you get me off the floor that I'm in, get me off the floor that I'm on with these tears that I'm sowing. If you give me a vision and give me a vehicle where I can go pursue it with all vigor, vim, and vitality and integrity, I will praise you publicly no matter who it offends, no matter what box it puts me in. They joined us, started working with them, got them product. Traveling with them, working, three-way calls, doing webinars, working with them. That first 6 months, they became $250,000 ring earners. They had never made that type of money in that short period of time in network marketing before. Why? Because we had set an example. Not because we got lucky, not because our sponsor put somebody down below us. No, why? Because we were clear on the vision. Why? Because we decided we were going to be and stay in the process of winning and not quitting. They're both a process. And so what people thought was subtly. See, they missed the subtly parts. What we were building and building and building, and the business went up, and then the business went down. They missed where, we went national in our first 48 days. They saw that. They were excited about that. We qualified for our ring. But what they didn't see was when people started to quit because they were hearing the demons. People started to go astray, even those that we had been there for, those that we had served, those that we had worked with, those that we had spoken life into. They decided all of a sudden, hey, I know I said we're going to be with you 18 months, but I've made another decision. I'm going to another company. I'm getting out of network marketing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever the excuse was or the reason was. See, people didn't see that subtle change. But then the subtly produced the suddenly. Then we started popping ring earners. Ring earners started popping. And people ask me all the time, Jarrod, how many ring earners have you created? And I absolutely tell them 0. Well, Jarrod, you just said you had a couple join and they got the $250,000 ring in their first 6 months. Yes, they did. We didn't create that for them. We set an example of what was possible. We supported, we assisted where we were needed. They did the work. So I didn't create not one of the multiple six-figure ring earners that we have in our organization, that we have an opportunity to serve alongside. I didn't create them. I didn't sponsor plays for them. I worked alongside them. We supported them. They did the work. We created an environment. We created a culture. We created a system that is designed not to help people. You want to help people, get in ministry. Mother Teresa helped a lot of people. I am not in network marketing to help people. I'm not doing this to help people. I'm building this to develop leaders and to deploy them so they become agents of change. Quitting is a process. That couple, they got the $250,000 ring. They made phone calls. They duplicated the same system. We had a gentleman come out of South Africa, from South Africa, in South Africa. He's just qualified for his six-figure $100,000 ring, and he did it in his first 8 months. This is his first time building in network marketing. His previous experience, I think he had made his best month $500. I'm talking about Kanye. He had made only about $500 one time. He came into the business, built both sides, his left and his right. No sponsor placement. Became a national. He was the first regional on the continent of Africa. He's a national director on his way to global. He's promoted a national, personally sponsored national, has other nationals on his team. And guess what? Matthew and Eileen Harris didn't do the work for him. They were an example for him. And guess what? Boom, he got his six-figure ring building both sides. Are you in the process of winning or in the process of quitting? See, Kanye, he introduced one of his best friends, Ntati. Her first time in network marketing. Never done this before. So let me dispel the myth of, oh, I got to recruit a networker. I've got to recruit people that have earned 6 or 7 figures to win here. No, you don't. You got to recruit yourself. You got to get out of the process of quitting and get into the process of winning. She joined the business, went regional, became the first national on the continent of Africa. As a matter of fact, she qualified for her $100,000 ring, and she did it within her first 6-7 months. She actually became a national before her sponsor Kanye did. But he didn't get in his feelings. He didn't start becoming Mr. Big and Mr. That, and they start having these quarrels with each other because she was able to get to a position faster than him, although he assisted and helped her. No, she still edified him publicly and privately. And she became the first national. Now, they've got over 10,000 people in their organization within the first 9 months. I didn't do it for them. No. They're showing the plan. They're pressing play and getting paid on the DVD 24 times a day. What are you doing? What excuses are you making? Then we've got Boosie, we've got Label, we've got so many people now that, Ntati is promoting a new national director on average every 120 days. Soon it's going to be every, 60 days, and then every 30 days. We're going to start breaking nationals every other week. Why? Because we're in the process of winning. We've got people, you heard Uzel that introduced me. I just started working with him 2 weeks ago. He's over in California. They put in multiple people in the business. I think they put in almost 10 people within the last 24, 48 hours. He's never won in network marketing. He's not a big leader. What is he? Someone who's coachable, teachable, and trainable. And I promise they stay on that path, they'll be unstoppable. We just sponsored 2 new legs of business. We've got things cranking right now. Just did a meeting, and I posted the picture, I think yesterday. The first meeting we did in this new market that we're launching. It's not new to the company. It's been open in the company. It's people already there. It's product already there. But it's new for us. So it's new. It's a new market for us. We've got multiple new markets that we're working in. The first one, we had, I think, 50 plus people at the first meeting we're doing. First Zoom meeting. The second one that we just did, we had almost 100 people there. Yeah, right now, not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago. I'm not telling you what we did. I'm telling you what's happening now. Why am I sharing this with you? Because quitting is a process. What you've got to do is you have to leave and not cleave. Some of us, we don't properly transition. And I'm not talking about transitioning from one company to another company. I'm saying transitioning from one place to the promise. You cannot leave and cleave at the same time. You cannot go forward and hold on backwards at the same time. That's what happened a lot. Lot's wife looked backwards and she turned into a pillar of salt. And some of us, you're salty because you're looking backwards. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the call. I'm excited about your future. I want you to get in the process of winning. do me a favor. I want you to share this video. Listen to me. I need people to see this one. I need them to hear it because it's going to save some careers. It's going to save some households. It's going to save some children. It's going to repair marriages. It's going to put people together if they hear the truth. So I need you to partner with me. I need you to share this on your wall. I need you to tag people in it. This ought to have at least 10,000 views within the next 24 hours. I need you to do your part. I've done my part. My part was to share the truth about the process of winning and the process of quitting. God bless you. God bless your families. And God most certainly bless your dreams. Good night, everybody.